So Talking Points memo reports, quote, "The monument was removed late at night in order to limit disruptions to employees at the state capitol and to keep protesters from interfering with the removal process. The Capitol also erected barricades earlier on Monday to protect the monument before its removal." All right, so that's incredible. They had to remove the monument at night, because if they didn't remove it at night, they're like, well, the protest would be too big and people would be too aggressive, and there might be violence. Oh my goodness, that's so pathetic. That's so pathetic. Could you imagine that reaction if they're removing a Bhagavad Gita monument or a monument to the Quran or the Hadith?
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be when people realize that this is a policy that they defend.
There is unrest everywhere, and it will persist for as long as there is unrest. And so this congressional resolution at this tipping point moment is an important affirmation, and then we have many bills.
In meeting the moment, in responding to the demands of the people, and doing what is well within our grasp to take at least one step closer to that ideal of equal justice.
They just can't get it done. Or your mayors who are electing, these police chiefs and don't want to be accountable to them. All of that is tradition. And that's got to be done away with. And the only way it's going to happen is with the protests of people taken to the streets in the way that we have witnessed.
No one can tell me that if had been a group of Black Lives Matter protesting yesterday, they wouldn't have been treated very, very differently than the mob of thugs that stormed the Capitol.
I'm cool with, people feeling like they want to help a movement, but then when you go to a gentrified community, and one of the first pictures I saw one of the business that was looted was a black-owned business. I'm like, they're not even from here. They don't even know what they're even doing. So that to me was very angering, watching, a business that was looted, and that business is across the street from a Safeway where before my father became a police officer here in Portland, he worked security at that Safeway. Talk about history and roots. And these folks don't even know what they're even doing. And so it's divisive, it's hurting the community. And I saw that press conference. Clearly the community was not happy with that. And they even asked for the violence to stop. And they still are coming out and having violent interactions with other citizens, the police, and at some point you just go, what is the end goal? Bloody Sunday, Selma. Those folks marched because they wanted the right to vote, and they legitimately were beaten in the street for civil rights, to have rights that they were told they couldn't have because they were not even human. And then having folks scream and yell that they're being peaceful protests, but you're not peaceful because it is violent. And I actually had a cousin who went to one of the marches and he left. And he said, this has turned into something else. This is weird. So having an African American male marching and then leaving, like I said, it's been very eye-opening. But I did have great conversations. I met two young brothers who were literally, after I had taken an explosive, I had been hit with a full beer can, a rock in my chest, frozen water bottle had hit me. I met two young brothers that were out cleaning up the street. They had two garbage bags and they were just running and cleaning up. And a few of us from my team, we went over and we had to shake their hands. I was so moved by them and so impressed. And they said, their words, we're from here. This is our city. I don't understand why people are coming here and destroying it. We want to show them, you know, this. We want to clean it up. And I was absolutely. We let them take a picture with us. I didn't take a picture. They had their camera and they had a picture taken. But like I said, I was just so moved by that.
So